Alright, day 38. If I look worse than usual and sound weird, just came from the dentist. Right side of my mouth is numb. My speech is pretty solid for how numb it is. Just got an email. The dentist, by the way, I knew it was going to be a two-part thing, so today was the last day of everything that's happened this past week. Got an email. They need a few dealers right now. Can't come in right now. 4 o'clock though. For me, it's 11:40. At 4 o'clock, there's a PLO. Not my favorite, but at least there's no low hands to read. And they say they're going to need 10 extra dealers who aren't already on the schedule for that. Just called, said I'll be there at 4. I got like 4 hours to get a little cleaned up. Nothing I could do about this. The thing is, it'll start, the numbness will start going away. And when that happens, I could like use my mouth, but then the pain is going to show up. So whatever. Getting $20 per down to deal PLO, so I'm going in for that, and that means no days off this week. That means only 2 more days for the remainder that I am off. Next week's schedule already came out. Monday, July 8th, I am off. Tuesday, July 9th, I am off. So might work both of those days. Might go in for one, take one off. With this, I'm going in today, and I'm on the schedule the next 5 days. Of course, I'm going in the next 5. That means only 2 days off so far. So going into that last week, I'll have worked 41 of 43 days, and we'll see what happens that last week. I don't know how busy it's going to be, if they're going to need extra people on Monday the 8th or Tuesday the 9th, or if I could just go in at 6 for a few hours. I don't know, we'll see. But gonna get some hours dealing a game that does not hold them. $20 per down, even though my mouth is going to be either numb or painful. Not both. That's a good thing. It can't be both. Each one has its own problems, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going to go in later, and I will think of something interesting. Either if something interesting happens during the day, I'll tell you when I get back, or I'll think of something interesting that happened the last few days to tell you. I think I'm way behind on shoutouts. Guy, the dealer from New Hampshire, I met him a long time ago. Nice to meet you. Cody from Pittsburgh, former table games dealer, met him. Logan, who while I was dealing his table, showed me a comments thread from a YouTube video where he was leaving comments. I had responded to it right before I left that morning, and then he showed me at the table his response to my response. Definitely more people. Can't remember vividly a ton of the others, but nice to meet everyone. Yeah, I know there were more than that in the last few days. The guy in the 3 seat. That's not a ton of information, but he said he had seen one of my videos, and he was asking me about what YouTube pays and subscribers and views and things like that, and him asking all those questions. Got the 1 seat to ask what the channel name was, although I don't know if that guy ever actually looked up the channel. So yeah, shout outs to everyone I've met, even if I forgot and didn't say it on camera. So I am going to take these 4 hours to relax and sit here, and then I'm going to go in, deal some PLO. That was an interesting night. You know by the title, you knew going in. I had no idea like 10 hours ago, 9 hours ago, when I filmed that first scene of this video, that I would be dealing the final table. But that was cool. Went in for the PLO, started at 4, opened one of the tables that started to start the tournament. Stayed in PLO even when the 6 o'clock no limit tournament started. And then happened to be dealing when we got down to 3 tables. And there were 3 tables actually in the poker room. We moved into the poker room because they had shufflers in there. So moved in there. At that point we were 27 players, 24 got paid. There were 190 entries. So dealt in the poker room for a little bit. Eventually got to the point where at first we had 3 tables and 4 dealers. One dealer had to leave at 10. She left. Then, and by then, you know, it's PLO, there's a lot of all-ins. So we were down to 2 tables, 3 dealers. I dealt one of the tables, got pushed. I went on break for a half hour. When I came back, 2 tables had become 1. The dealer who was dealing the table that broke, she went home. So we had 2 dealers for 1 table. Late at night, probably not just alternating. Still solid money to alternate, especially solid money per hour to only be working 30 minutes of every 60 minutes. But just late at night, usually people don't do that. So I asked the floor what we were doing. He said, decide. Me and the other dealer decide. I asked the other dealer what she wanted to do. She said she would do anything, but she wanted to go home. I said, okay, I'll lock in. So I'm just going to push into the table, and I'm going to deal till it's over. So I dealt the last 4 downs. About, the last down wasn't like a full 30 minutes. It was like the last hour, 45 minutes from when we had like 7 players down to a winner. That was interesting. Guy who won, he said he just flew into town. It was his first tournament. He won 240 buy-in. He got $9,215 for first place. Hit a 2-outer along the way. He actually wasn't at risk, but he was going to be crippled if he lost that hand. He rivered a 2-outer. Then heads up, he was the big underdog, and he had more than 2 outs, but he had 10-10-7-4 against ace, ace, king, jack, and he turned to 10. He had other ways to win, but that was like the, I don't know, most obvious way to win, I guess. He turned to 10, and then even on the last hand, I think he only had 3 outs, and he rivered an ace for the win. So, yeah, that was interesting. It gets so much easier calculating pot when the stakes get bigger, when every number ends with 3 zeros. Also, when it's heads up, it's just very, very simple. So, interesting tournament. That's kind of annoying early on. So many people and like re-entries and calling out seats open and then getting new players, especially when the new players barely have any chips. They have like a very small number of high denomination chips, and you have to get them changed, and it's very annoying. So the PLO tournament gets easier as it goes on. Blinds go up and players only exiting, especially after registration is done. Very interesting, I don't know, structure, interesting phenomenon, I guess, in PLO tournaments. So yeah, that was cool. I didn't tell you Monday's pay. Monday, I wasn't on the schedule. That was yesterday. Went in, got a decent amount of hours, but tomorrow, barring something very, very entertaining happening, which I don't know why it would, I'll tell you today's pay, because today I was on the clock for a while, more than 8 hours, and this is actually the type of day I've been telling you about. Just very heavy on the tournament side, and the tournament not no limit hold'em. So every down I deal $20, and those 20s add up. Also, it's after July 1st, so instead of $11.25 an hour for my wage, getting $12 an hour for my regular wage. Also, at some point today, I broke 40 hours on the week, so overtime wage of $18 per hour. So I will tomorrow tell you the pay for today. Stay tuned. Shout outs to all the people I met. Met a handful of people today. I don't think I got any names. The guy with the Michigan State sweatshirt, even though I dealt your knockout hand in the PLO tournament. You've been around a lot at Orleans. Dealt to you in a bunch of tournaments. A few other guys came up to me. It was brief, but especially shout out to the younger guy with the hat and the hair. And I had a few minutes before I was pushing into one of those PLO tables at the end. I was standing on like the outskirts of the poker room. I think he came over from the cash game side. He started talking to me, said you just really like the videos. And we talked for a few minutes. Didn't get your name or anything really specific about you. But thanks for the gift, and it was very generous. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet everyone I met today. Nice to meet everyone I met all summer. Giving some specific shout outs, but also the ones that I forgot about once I finally got around to filming and giving some shout outs. Nice to meet everybody. And remember, rice is a spoon food.